Ladies and gentlemen, they say war isn't good for anyone or anything. But our guest here, who's back in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, I would dare say war was pretty good for him because he's going to talk about how he just signed a contract to be a part of, a company that's legendary, and how he's very well going to be a part of a haunted Hellfest. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about why is our guest, who's the very best from the 605, but may even very well be the best from anywhere in the backyard, the underground wrestling circuit, and why is he a part of LBYW? Why is he here, and what does he want, and just a lot that he has to get off his chest. He's going to do that. Maybe I'll even name drop those Reapers that mentioned our guest for whatever reason, especially after we saw him here a month plus ago. I've got some questions. He'll give me some answers. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what's going to happen at Haunted Hellfest, his thoughts on some of the matches. I may even have to ask him about Kurt Adams. Yes, I'm going to have to do it. Yes, I'm going to have to ask him about some other things. But since he's here, and I know eventually he's going to do his own intro, but I do have a surprise before I get to my intro of him, and then he'll do his own intro of himself, as he famously did his first appearance on Sportswire Radio. I do have a gift for him. So it'll be a, let's just say, legendary gift. But before we do that here, as we always do on Sportswire Radio, to quote the words of the legendary frontman, Def Leppard's Joe Elliott, let's get rock, baby, because I see our chat is here. I see our guest. He is definitely the one and only. And I think I want to get this show off in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. And I've even got my own Pepsi in a cup. Not quite the Pepsi bottle, but I got a Pepsi just for him. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the summer vibes right now. So, with that, further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. Oh man, that is the reigning, defending SPW undisputed champion. He is the best from the 605. His name is simply put, the Word and only Riley Bates! The champ is here! My friend, how are we doing?
You know, Reverend, I gotta say, again, that was quite the intro. But again, unfortunately, it's just not... It's a good intro. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a great intro. Again, I just think mine is so much simpler, so much better. But
well, I want to hear your intro again, because I did kind of say you were going to do it. So, I mean, you got to do it. It's your prime time.
Yes, I will do it. I will do it. All right.
Do it. You got it.
Let me just
Make sure, get some water. I never drink water. That's why I had to go to the dentist after your last appearance on Sportswire.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is the one, the only Riley Bates, the fallen star Riley Bates, the Pepsi drinking Riley Bates, the fourth wall breaking Riley Bates, your SBW Union and world champion Riley Bates, and quite simply, the best wrestler alive in the 605. Simply put, is Riley Bates.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He did his own style, and I appreciate that because no too many people will do that. But it's great to exchange intros, but I think you and I aren't here to compare and contrast introductions. But however, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, Riley Bates, and some companies that you now represent, and especially LBYW, and you have to talk about why Riley Bates has now signed a contract to become legendary and become a part of legendary backyard wrestling.
You know, to say why I signed is quite an understatement. It's quite simply put the fact that LBYW needed someone who could make their company worldwide, if not already worldwide. I mean, okay, let's take a step back from where we are now. Now that the biggest signee of that company's existence has now just signed, let's take a step back. All right, let's take 2 steps back and look at what LBYW was. You had a group running around with no rules whatsoever. The company has no rules whatsoever. You have the group known as the North Dakota Reapers running around causing a muck to everyone and anyone they lay their eyes on. You've got guys like Nate Dogg. You got guys like Psychotic Freak. You got guys like Kurt Adams. Like those names.
Oh, yeah, that's a man you know. I
could
spend all day on you and Kurt Adams. I mean, we already did that once.
I don't want to do that again. My voice is sore from just talking about Kurt Adams the last time. All right, so let's try not to do that again. But like those names absolutely suck. If you try to bring people into a building, oh yeah, we want a match. We want to see the main event match between Psychotic Freak and Nate Dogg. If I was your ticketer, Reverend, and those were the 2 names, I'd just blink my eyes 1,000 times and just say, what? Like,
well, well, you know what? To your credit, at least you didn't bring up Scary Terry. That might have been even lower on demand.
Exactly. Like, just those names don't bring in people to watch your product. The one name, no Reverend, that does is the one right here in front of your very eyes, and the one that you've so beautifully announced not once but twice now since I've been on here, and that name is Riley Bates. And the reason why I signed with LBYW, again, simply put, is an understatement. They wanted Riley Bates. They wanted the best wrestler alive in the 605. They wanted the SBW Union and World Champion. They wanted Riley Bates to come onto their show, and I couldn't think of a better reason why than to simply put to elevate them. Their final show was just coming up right around the bend, and what a great way to end a historic company, to end a historic moment for LBYW than to have one of the controversial guys in this company, in this community, one of the most
well, you're in the company now, so you could say it. I mean, you're in the company now.
One of the most out there guys that can talk about himself for hours and hours upon end and don't get tired of it. One of the guys in this community who will back up everything he says in that ring. One of the guys in this community who will actually hit mark anybody and anyone that he lays his eyes on, or make a headline for anyone who wants some. You know, LBYW must have saw the potential that I had when the last time I came on here for Sportswire, my great opinions, my honest views about everyone, and they must have liked it. Hell, I could even go to say they must have liked what I did in SBW and where I went around this whole entire country, because they wanted me there. And I don't blame them, Reverend, because I couldn't think of a better company to sign the one, the only Riley Bates than LBYW. And if they didn't sign me, they'd quite simply be losing the biggest signee that they ever had.
And well, they would be missing out because, as you pointed out, Haunted Hellfest is the end of Legendary Backyard Wrestling as a company as we know it. So if they didn't sign you now, I mean, there would more than likely be never that opportunity to sign you. And I agree with you about LBYW. I've been working with the company for over 2 years, and the guys have been coming on throughout the years. We've had a slew of people, some names I'm sure we'll bring up, and I absolutely agree. It's a watershed moment for the company. I think it's the right place at the right time. You coming in, your name, what you've done. Obviously, you've been legendary in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. You're a double champion. And I think you check off all the boxes, and not just why LBYW signed you, but also any company that would want someone like yourself. So congratulations, first of all, on that. But I got that. You talked about some of the different things. You talked about being here. You've talked about your resume. You've talked about views. You've talked about different people that may not have the name recognition or have the resume as you. And I agree with you, objectively speaking, on some of the names you brought up in terms of your resume. But where do you still fit in this landscape of LBYW? I still am not quite sure what the focus. I'm going to put the footage up where you basically shocked not just everybody in LBYW, but really the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit in a second. But I mean, I still want to know, why are you here, and what do you plan to do?
Well, Reverend, to answer that, you got to answer a various amounts of other questions. Why am I here in LBYW? That's a question for him up there. All right, that's a question for him up there, because he's the one that paves the way. He knows your future before you even know what your future is. All right, he knows what he wants your future to be, and he really wanted my future to be in LBYW just for their last show, and I don't blame him, because again, there's many people on that roster that really just don't bring in people, don't bring in the building, and I'm the guy to do so. And I'll say this right here, right now. Another guy that I honestly, genuinely believe that could not bring in the people, could not bring in the views is this guy right here. I mean, good.
Yeah,
God.
I think our
Slapko
announcer, we were all thinking, okay, Slapko Fudd. I mean, certainly this had to have been a Chris Aruda move if this was the case. Obviously, he was the man in charge of LBYW recently, and he's the guy that famously signed Scary Terry, which is going to be one of those dubious signings by any general manager, not just in wrestling, but sports history, certainly in LBYW. But yeah, I mean, if that was the announcement, I think that definitely would have been Chris Aruda written all over it. But alas, you're about to come out, thankfully.
Yes, and thank God I did, because I don't want to hear Slapko Fudd in his Indian accent ever. It's annoying, it's god-awful, and I'm glad I came out. And I know that everyone who was watching live and who was there in the back,
yeah, I was telling you off the
they
air.
Were glad.
Yeah, I was telling you off the air. I was eating, and I was in my backyard, literally, and I was watching the show, and I was kind of waiting for the moment to, this big special announcement was brought up there, here, and I was telling you I watched it live, and now we're showing the footage from last week, and there you are. There you are here. There you are right there in the flesh and wound in South Dakota.
Yeah, and why am I here? That is the big question here, is why is Riley Bates here? Why is Riley Bates hands on the railing about to jump into a world that he quite figuratively and literally never stepped foot in before, and that is trampoline wrestling? Why is Riley Bates doing this? He's got a surgically repaired ACL. He's way shorter than anyone else in this whole entire locker room. That's for sure. Why is he here? You know, that's the big question. Oh, I just gotta stop. I gotta.
Well, that was
Oh,
quite a moment there. Obviously,
so
there you go.
beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, I love every second. I gotta pause for this one too.
Yeah, well, I
It's so
think we're all
beautiful.
watching. We have people in the chat that are watching along with us, and if they are here, please go hit the sub button for LBYW. And we're talking with the newest member of the roster, their new signee, Riley Bates, the one and only Riley Bates, who is the SBW Union and undisputed champion. And please support LBYW. And there you have it. There you go. I figured I'd put it up and remind you of what you did last week,
Yeah.
and you know.
Oh, perfect, beautiful. Anyways, why am I here? Well, it's a very broad question. If you're asking just one simple, why am I in LBYW? There's various reasons as to why, and I'll list them off here to you. Number one, LBYW wanted Riley Bates. They paid me an undisclosed amount of money that I really don't want to specify here. Let's just say it's something along the lines of
It covers your travel and gives you some extra money in your pocket, right?
Oh yeah, hey, it between you and me here, Reverend, it gets me a vacation down to Cancun. All right, it's a lot. All right,
Yeah, we're gonna
but
need that in a couple of months from now when we get
oh
reintroduced to winter in South
oh,
Dakota.
you,
Yeah,
you are not joking.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, so they paid me a lot, and I took it and I signed the dotted line, as you will see here shortly. That's one, a crap boatload of money. Number two, I came here because SBW isn't doing much, not yet, at least
Yeah,
not yet.
yeah,
That's a little hint, not yet. But
yeah.
SBW isn't doing much, and I quite literally want to get back active in the ring. And LBYW signed me, for a couple matches deal. Keyword there, match as deal. And there you see John
Yeah, I mean,
Hancock.
there you go. I
on
mean,
line.
I like
And
seeing this paperwork rather than yesterday when we had Austin Edwards from BYCW, and instead of showing a contract, we saw a police report on this screen. So at least you showed us a
ooh,
contract rather than a police report. Yeah, apparently Brett Anderson got attacked by by a masked man over baseball cards. Yeah, long story. Not going to get into that tonight, but at
all
least
right.
your paperwork is a contract.
Yeah, at least mine is. Yeah, just SBW isn't really doing much, and LBYW granted to hire me. Number three, this might ruffle some feathers. It might not, honestly. Again, I'm a controversial figure in this yard. I really don't care.
Right.
LBYW, in my truly honest, humble perspective, opinion, has the bell for bell best people to test myself against. Not saying that anyone from where the steel factories are on this side of the country, where they wrestle and roam. Not saying that they aren't the best bell for bell. Not saying that that the people on the coast are the best bell for bell. Not saying that at all. I'm saying that from where I am located, LBYW has the best bell to bell. I mean, we're talking the Alpha, we're talking Napalm, we're talking. I don't want to say it, Reverend. You know I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it
Yeah,
anyway.
I got something for you. If you do want to say his name, I'll give you special permission because I'll actually bleep it out. So if you want, I'll just bleep it out.
Okay, thank God. Kurt Adams. Yep. Kurt Adams. They got best bell for bell. All right, and I'm going to step aside from being Riley Bates for a little bit, and I'll just say this firsthand first here, and that is that if I truly were stupid enough and naive enough to not accept that contract and not accept that offer, I'd be shooting myself in the foot, because the opportunity and the moment to just be in an arena like that, to be in front of people like that, to be in front of a different platform, a different views like that is just amazing. And even when I went elsewhere, it was awesome It was an experience that I will never forget. Quite literally, I will never forget. But going to LBYW will be a truly different landscape than I am used to, and I am ready to test myself for that, because for the last almost 10 years now, decade-wise, I've only wrestled on said ground. I've only wrestled on wood that is about yay high off the ground with baby mats for a mat and a canvas. I've only wrestled on that. I've wrestled in a professional wrestling ring before, and I was happy to do that. And I guess a thing to check off a non-existent bucket list for me would be to wrestle on a trampoline in front of that many people, in front of that platform, in front of all of that. Now, let's step back in to Riley Bates. What is the real, true, definite reason as to why I'm here? Well, it's simple. I hinted at earlier that I was under a contract to compete in a few matches.
I caught that. I
Yes.
definitely caught that.
And my first debut match is going to be at Haunted Hellfest 5.
Whoa, that's coming up. That's next month. That's
Yes.
coming. That's Halloween. Trick or treat. That's what you're basically telling us.
I'm giving you one hell of a treat, and it is not a trick, Reverend. Haunted Hellfest 5 will be my debut. Now, let's just go over some of the matches that are there, right?
Yes.
We've got the man I really don't want to say, but I'll say it anyway. We got Kurt Adams.
Well, there's a man who's the man that pinned him at War for the North Dakota Reapers to win the war match is the Wilster, and he's here in the chat right now, and he's wrestling the backbone of the backyard, as some would call him. And the Wilster's the face of America. He's the United States champion, and he's been that champion for over a year, and he's going to be in action against him. And guess what? He's going to be on Sportswire Radio before the Haunted Hellfest to talk about what he said he was going to do nearly 2 months ago, which was end the career of Kurt Adams, and it seems like he's one step closer to it.
Yeah, well, I hope he does, because I don't want to see him in SBW. But if he doesn't, oh well, got to deal with Kurt Adams one way or another. Yeah. So we have that. I mean, what's not to get excited for that? Kurt Adams could possibly die, and I'll be happy for it. But I'll be happy either way, because I'll get to see someone beat up Kurt Adams, and who knows? I don't know what the other part was. I just like the first.
Well, I think you just don't want to see Kurt Adams defeat the Wilster, and you want to see the Wilster basically say what he was going to do on here weeks ago, which was end the career of the backbone of the backyard, as some would say, which I know you would certainly dispute, but that's what the Wilster is intended to do, and he's, like I said, one step closer to doing so. He's already got a pinfall victory over him.
Yes, and congratulations for the Wilster on that. So there's that match, and then we've got
championships are going to be defended. We know that. We saw some rather, you talked about the psychotic freak, and we know about the freak math, but he was a little bit all over the place in the war match. I have no idea what to expect there.
I don't either, Reverend, and I'll be honest, I'm not good at math, but I could not tell you one single thing of freak math what he was doing. All right, I couldn't. Oh Jesus. There's that. We've got, I believe, a mask versus mask match between Azul Noche and El Sombra, I believe.
El Sombra, yeah.
There's that. Again, another reason why they bring in Riley Bates is to draw people to the building, and those two couldn't draw in a dime if they were paired up together, and they won't, and I can guarantee that when it comes to Haunted Hellfest 5. There's that. I'm quite literally drawing a.
How about that? Yeah, I mean that's a good one. But before you do anything else, I do want to get to a couple things. And first, let me get to the chat, because you hold on to that for a few minutes. Plus, I want to give you something, and I think I know where you're going, but just hang on for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to some people. They want to talk to you. I want to say hello to the legendary Darkron, the former All Wrestling Matters World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to Kyle Keplin for winning that. And the Underground OG is here. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Zilla's in the house. She wants to say hello to the newest member of the LBYW roster, the one and only Riley Bates. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Zilla. Want to say hello to Princess Jade, who'd like to say hello and thank you. And yeah, no apologies needed. Thank you very much, Mr. Cron. And yes, thank you. And we'll certainly see what happens there. And he'll answer that, I'm sure, at a different point. That's to steal James Taylor's phrase. Hello to the enforcer of Sportswire Radio, the one and only Ox McCoy. There you go. There's an Ox. There's Ox. Yes. I know I'm fighting for a rematch. We'll stay tuned to that. Let's get to some more comments. Hello. Yep, we already got that. We got that. Hello to my friends in Ohio who have just subbed to LBYW. Thank you to the EWA. Mr. Kron's a part of the EWA as well. And, well, it will be Saturday soon enough. We will get to, here's who I wanted to get to. The Wilster, who I told you was in the chat. And he wants to say, welcome to LBYW, Mr. Bates. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to because I know you want to say something because you left something out. So I'm going to let the Wilster kind of say some of these comments. We're going to come back to him in a few minutes. But I'm also going to point out, again, the Wilster is going to be on Sportswire before the Haunted Hellfest. So we're going to have him on in a few weeks. And I know he's going to talk about some of the things that'll be discussed tonight. Slap Go Fud is a complete utter goof. I can hear the Wilster actually say that.
I can
thank
too.
God you beat. You know what? Right now, this is for the Wilster. The New York Mets are the equivalent of slap Go Fud right now because I watched the New York Mets this past weekend, and I'm a Mets fan. They basically played like slap Go Fud this past weekend. So
I try to catch a Seattle Seahawks game here and there, but our rivals, the Green Bay Packers, the game they played today.
Oh my goodness! I can't
is
believe
the equivalent.
Yeah.
Is the equivalent of Riley Bates whipping Slapko Fud's ass.
Yeah, I you know what? If you would have asked me the Cleveland Browns would have beat the Green Bay Packers today, I would have said it has to be just you must be higher on drugs.
It's Groundhog's Day.
The same thing. There you go. Everybody knows you're the real deal in the 605. Yeah, we would agree with that. Thank you, Zilla. But remember, there's no leader in the Reapers. We're all equals. No problem, Riley. Money as well. We're going to get to that because I know you have something to say. We're going to get to that, but I do want to give you something. Kurt Adams is complete trash, and you've made the right choice. Well, we don't know what choice you've made other than signing with LBYW. So other than that, I mean, you've made a right choice with that. That I agree. And he does love the Latinas too. Yes, I think a lot of us do. So yes, we want to definitely shout out those Latinas out there. Hit the sub button for LBYW. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you, Hubie, for taking care of business. Trick or treat, but we'll say there you go. 414 days, which is coming up on 14 months. That's 13 and a half months. Freak math is bogus as hell anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to not do that. We're going to move on and be positive. The face of America endorses Riley Bates, and good. I love the match. Well, listen, you still are an Atlanta Braves fan, although the Detroit Tigers probably would say that they played more like Slapgo Fud than the Mets. The Mets are alive at least. But all right, I know you something else you want to say, but I have to put this up on the screen because I do have a surprise for you, and you're in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations! Well, you have entered the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and I will give you the physical copy when we're off the air, and you are well-deserved. You are the one and only Riley Bates, and you are the one and only 147th member on this date, September 21st, and you are definitely the one and only from the 605 in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame because you are the only one from the 605 that is in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So congratulations there, and we will make sure that you get this physically and all that in between.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inducting me. I don't know if there's a board or anything like that.
Well,
you're looking
at the board. As well. You're looking at the board, the judge, jury, and the execution. Well, in this case, basically the man that signs off on it. It's a one-man vote. You got my vote undisputedly, unanimously.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
that's good to know. Thank
Well,
you.
congratulations. And let me also, before I let you, what we really want to talk about in a minute, follow Riley on Instagram. He is certainly gaining some more followers, which we very much are happy about. And I like everybody to join me in following Riley on Instagram. So you can do that right here, and please support it. You can also see that contract, and there you go. And welcome to Legendary Backyard Wrestling, Riley Bates, and congratulations. That is the one and only contract for the SBW Union and Undisputed Champion. So thank you, and thank you to management as always for their support. And yeah, the Falcons getting dog walk. Well, the Falcons, the Falcons are in. I say for years are the definition of the NFL's version of purgatory. But okay, I could talk about that, but I know you were wanting to talk about something else. There was something else left out in matches, and I was curious on what that was about because I think I have a question or two about that in particular. So I was curious
Mhm.
on what you left out and what you wanted to talk about when it came to talking about Haunted Hellfest there, champ.
Well, again, I just off the top of my dome, I just don't remember what match I am leaving out. I just it's
I think
really
I know. Well, does a Alpha ring a bell? Does an Alpha, that guy who's the champion in
oh
LBL?
that right there. That
Yeah, you
name
heard of him?
sounds very odd and
Yeah, I got
very
him right here on the
familiar.
screen. And does this help you get you a little warmer?
Mm.
Yeah.
There we go. Reverend, if I could go through the screen and kiss you on the cheek, I would. Thank you so much. Sorry, didn't mean to say
That's
that.
okay. I could
That's
see
oh,
the interest and
ooh.
also I had noticed, by the way, I know that I see some pleasantries from the Wellster, but they were talking about South Dakota, by the way, these
Mm-hmm.
Reapers.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
there
heard.
was a name that was brought up during this, and it was a name that sounds like the one and only Riley Bates. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember crystal clear as day. Um, now that I'm seeing this right in front of my eyes, it's the memory is kicking in. I do not have Alzheimer's. The memory is kicking in now. I am now realizing that the match I am forgetting is the Alpha versus the Omega for the
Yeah.
LBYW World's Championship.
Yep.
And you know what?
What?
I have a brilliant idea. Of course, this all has to go to management.
Mm-hmm.
But how about my debut match? We make it the Alpha versus the Omega versus the one, the only, the LBYW World's Champion versus Lee Junt versus the SBW Union and World Champion Riley Bates.
Whoa! Did you just mean to tell me that you would like to be the third man in that match with the Alpha and the Omega? The Alpha versus the Omega versus the one and only? And maybe we could see who truly is the one and only champion of all of Dakota? Not just North, not just South, but all of Dakota?
Yes, sir, Reverend. I am saying just that. Because if you do not remember, CJ, you came to my home.
They did.
My
They
company.
did. They came.
You
They
came
to SBW.
SBW. Yes, you came to SBW, and I said, get the job done against Kurt Adams. I said get the job done against Kurt Adams, and you could not, my friend. Even with bringing in the Reapers, you could not do so, my friend. And I respect the Reapers. I do. I respect the Reapers and all what they've done in LBYW. But the moment a Reaper from North Dakota comes into my ring and hits me straight across the jaw for being nothing more than a special guest referee in a tag match, I take great offense to it. So, if management will allow it, if management will allow Riley Bates to have his debut match at Haunted Hellfest 5 between the Omega versus the Alpha, and add Riley Bates into that for the LBYW World's Championship, then I say that will truly make LBYW worldwide.
And that'll make it legendary. Because we know that last year's Haunted Hellfest was in front of a huge crowd. I mean, we're talking about upwards to 100 people. We're looking at this show here coming up to be the biggest show. And it's the biggest show going out with a bang in legendary backyard wrestling. You want to talk about what's planned? You want to talk about what's in store? We're going to see that at Haunted Hellfest 5. And we know the setup. From what we saw last year, we saw where they were outside. We saw just the way things were, and the stage literally was the biggest stage that anybody could have seen in the backyard wrestling circuit. And you now want to maybe make Haunted Hellfest even more legendary because you want to be interjected in a match with the reigning defending LBYW champion, the Alpha. And it seems like you do have a memory. You have a long memory of what happened when those Reapers from North Dakota came to your place, to your ring in South Dakota, and did what you had done to you for no reason. You know, it's one thing when Kurt Adams, he gets it on the chin. It's one thing when Kurt Adams goes to LBYW and he doesn't have much luck. But it's another thing when those Reapers came to SBW, the home that you've built, the home that you've reigned supreme and have made legendary. And they came and they attempted to conquer. They attempted to take over what you've built. They attempted to basically go into your home, take your keys, throw you out the door, and basically live in a place that you helped build. And now you've decided to come back and to give those Reapers maybe a taste of their own medicine. Maybe you're going to now come into their home where for one last time they get to be on the biggest stage and you get to take something that belongs to them and you could permanently make it legendary.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm implying, exactly what I'm meaning. And, you know, hearing it from management's one thing, Reverend. Hearing it from management's one thing, but quite honestly and literally, I want to hear it from one guy in particular.
Yeah. Who would that be?
I want to hear it from the LBYW World Champion.
Well, I mean, if you have anything to say to him, I mean, I'm sure he's out there, and I'm sure that the Alpha himself, if you're going to say something to him, maybe he'll hear this and maybe potentially you might get your wish. Today might be your lucky day. I don't think the Alpha is going to be slap-go-fud. I mean, do you have anything you want to say to the Alpha directly? If maybe by some chance he's hearing this, what would you want to say?
Listen, if the Alpha is hearing this, and I hope he has both ears open, mouth shut, eyes watching the screen, all right? I hope that he's listening. I hope he's watching, because I want to be thorough when I say this, Reverend.
Yes, sir.
I don't intend on going to LBYW just to make one big moment. I intend to take the LBYW World's Championship from the Alpha. And I feel so bad for what Alpha considers to be his little brother, and I believe they are brothers, if I am correct by saying that. But Lee, he doesn't fit in this equation. He doesn't. If you want me to be brutally honest with you, Reverend, Lee is just a spoke in the wheel. And this wagon is LBYW. You have a three carded wagon, and the two carts, the two wheels holding this wagon is Riley Bates and the Alpha, and the spare is just nothing more than Lee at this point. So, Alpha, what I'm meaning by saying this is I plan on taking the LBYW World's title from you. And when I do, there's going to be no ifs and buts about it. LBYW will have to answer to one guy and one guy only, and that is Riley Bates. I intend on taking the LBYW World's Championship, coming back to South Dakota, coming back to SBW when we open our doors. And when I do, I intend on defending that championship with full integrity, with full honesty. And when I decide to come back to LBYW, maybe I can make a reunion. Maybe I could throw a reunion episode or something, give something to these people that's
Well, if
worthwhile.
you're the champion, I guess you could do that. If you win this championship at Haunted Hellfest 5, I guess you're going to take that championship and take it with you to SBW and I guess do whatever you want to do with it.
Yes, and all I want is to hear the words from the Alpha, if he is somewhere here.
Well, it's funny you said something about the Alpha, because you just said a lot just now, and apparently I've received word that there's somebody right now backstage that wants to say something. Now, I don't know if it's a fan. I don't know if it's Scary Terry. I don't know if it's Chris Aruda, but I know somebody is here. I can't see who they are, but if you would allow me to, I would like to bring this person on who certainly wants to address what you've said about the Alpha, what you've said about that legendary Backyard Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship, only if you would give me the one and only opportunity to present this individual to show themselves here on screen right now and talk to you.
Floor is yours.
I'm glad that you would give me this permission because, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like, wait a minute! It is! It's the LBYW World Heavyweight Champion, the Alpha! And he's here, and champ, listen, take it away. You've heard plenty from Riley Bates, and I'm going to give you the one and only opportunity to respond.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Before we go there, let me just back it up just a little bit, just a little bit. Let's go through some history, right, Mr. Bates? Actually, before we do that, number one, congratulations on signing here with LBYW. We welcome you. We do. However, you should proceed with caution because you got to tread lightly, my man. There is somebody that both myself and you are very, very well known of. Somebody that we are connected to, somebody you know very well, somebody I know very well. And that man is the man that you did not want to talk about initially, Kurt Adams. That man signed a contract with Legendary Backyard Wrestling. That man came into our company, much like you were saying, how we invaded yours. And he came in here and put his big old nose right in the business that he didn't want. Now, did he get lucky a time or two? Sure. I'm not an idiot. I am very well aware of the power of the talent that Kurt Adams is. Of course, he's going to get the upper hand a time or two. But what happens? What happens in the end goal is that he will fail, and he has failed more times than he has won. Kurt Adams learned right away, when you put your nose and you step in the business of the North Dakota Reapers, you get punched in the mouth. You swallow some blood, you might even lose a tooth or two. And that's exactly what happened at war. He asked for too much. He got his ass handed to him. And the one and only face of America, the Wilster, put his ass down with a 1, a 2, and a 3. It's going to happen at Haunted Hellfest too. You damn well know it. Now, getting off of that loser, this doesn't have to be between us. Okay? Let's look back at the history between yourself and me. You had a Kurt Adams problem yourself, and you called upon me to come down there. First time, I didn't get it. Like I said, he's a man of quite enormous talent, and I had it. But then the Reapers came down. More guys that you called down to come down to SBW and help with your problem. Okay? We went down there and we had him beat. Oh my God, did we have him beat? But then your guys' little Bane X decided he wasn't going to be a part of our group anymore. Bad choice on his end, by the way. And that ended up messing up all those plans. It is what it is. Thought we were done with him. But like I said, he came up here and got his nose in his business, and now he's on the loose end of it. That can't be between us. It shouldn't be between us. We were on good terms. I came here initially. I came on to watch this show. Wasn't going to even be on. I came on to congratulate you, and I did.
And the Wilster's been praising you throughout the show. I mean, there is a point that the Alpha makes. The Wilster has commended your talents.
Yes.
Has definitely been somebody that
Yes.
has been complimentary towards you, the one and only Riley Bates.
Exactly. And now you want to lay this out, this challenge. Look, dude, any other day, you would have showed up 6 months ago. I would have said yes. I really would have. But I got my own flesh and blood that called me out again. And he wants a piece of me. He wants what's on my shoulder. I got to deal with his ass. And it's just a shame. It's just a shame that LBYW is coming to an end, because trust me, after I do take care of business at Haunted Hellfest 5, by the way, after I take care of business and I stay as the top of the mountain, the world's heavyweight champion, Legendary Backyard Wrestling, unfortunately, will be closing our doors. Now, Lee Junt, like I said, he's got one thing coming for him. That rookie ain't going to do a damn thing, all right? I'm just going to put that straight up. But I'm sorry, bud. You're just a little bit too late. I can't do it. I'm going to say no.
Whoa, the Alpha just said no. Riley Bates, the Alpha has come on here to actually tell you that your request of being interjected in the match at Haunted Hellfest 5 between the Alpha and the Omega is a one and only emphatically no.
Yep. It sucks too, because I mean, I don't know why management and you decided to come on a deal so late. It's unfortunate. It really is. Like I said, had you showed up a little earlier, we could have made this work. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Wow. I mean, listen, you wanted this, Riley Bates. The Alpha's here. We definitely did not expect the LBYW World Heavyweight Champion to be here, but he's telling you that no dice, no deal, and I guess you'll have to find someone else to wrestle at Haunted Hellfest 5 with your contract. Maybe Scary Terry? Would you like to have a match with?
No. Reverend, there's one thing that I have been throughout damn near a decade, and that is not giving up like John Cena. I do not give up. I am a persistent mother effer if I need to be. And yes, and I say that I had seen this coming, Alpha.
You did?
I had seen this. Oh yeah, I had seen this coming, Alpha. All right, I had seen this coming.
Really?
What I had seen coming is the fact that you, being the LBYW World's Champion, when the moment comes for someone who is 10 times better than you could ever be, comes knocking at your doorstep, you tuck your tail between your legs and you run like a little bitch. See,
Interesting.
See, Alpha, I'd seen this coming, and I knew for certain that maybe, just maybe, I wasn't going to get the emphatic yes that I so righteously want. So if I have to, I guess I need to up the bargain just a tad bit. And
what's that?
Up the bargain.
Up the bargain just a tad bit here. And
I mean, even Chris Collinsworth is kind of waiting for what Riley Bates has to offer in the bargain. I mean, Mike Tirico is ready to make the call. I mean,
by the time he says something, Haunted Hellfest is over. I mean, what are we doing?
Well, I hope it's not that long. I mean,
it's actually not that long at all. You see, Reverend, I have 2 belts over my shoulders here.
You do. I see. That's the SBW Undisputed and the Union Championships. I see 2 championships there. That's a good point. I see 2 championships, 2-1.
I see 2 titles right here, and I see a title right over your shoulder there, Alpha.
On the right shoulder of the Alpha.
Yes.
Good point.
I see it.
Okay. Yep. Right here.
I'm gonna up the ante just a little bit more by saying if you're not going to accept Riley Bates just himself for a triple threat match at Haunted Hellfest 5, maybe you'll accept this offer. The Omega versus the Alpha versus the one, the only, for the LBYW World's Championship and the SBW Union and World titles on the line.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, did I think I hear what I just heard in that the one and only Riley Bates doesn't just want a match with the Alpha and the Omega? He wants to put up his SBW Union and Undisputed Championships. You want to talk about gambles? You want to talk about wild cards? I mean, this is more than a Hail Mary. I mean, the Alpha. What do you think about that? Oh.
How about you take off your glasses a little bit? That way I can see you man to man.
I haven't seen him take his glasses off ever on Sportswire.
I accept.
Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, the Alpha has just accepted! The Alpha has just accepted Haunted Hellfest 5! It's going to be the Alpha with the legendary Backyard Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship, and our guest here tonight, the one and only Riley Bates, the best from the 605, with the SBW, the Union, and the Undisputed Championships on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this truly will be a legendary matchup for the battle of who is the most legendary of all of Dakota. Ladies and gentlemen, all of Dakota with all the gold on the line, the biggest show in the history of Dakota. It's going to take place, Haunted Hellfest 5, just 1 month from now. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about bargains? You want to talk about deals? You want to talk about legendary? You want to talk about Super Bowls? You want to talk about Hail Marys? You want to talk about wild cards? You want to talk about all of it? This tops it by tenfold. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one for the ages in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. The Alpha, Riley Bates, and the Omega with all the gold in Dakota on the line. This is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. This is the definition of prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And these guys are going to be on it in the biggest show in the history of all of Dakota. Ladies and gentlemen, there really isn't much more to say than just...
I can say a little bit more.
Well, you want to say something about it because the Alpha has just accepted. And Riley Bates, you got what you wanted. You got it.
Oh yeah, I've got it. And Alpha, I want you to hear me loud and clear when I say this. I knew you'd say no. I knew you'd say no. Because you are just a yellow, red belly coward. That is all you are, and that is what everyone from up north in North Dakota is. Because let me just backtrack here, okay? You coming down to SBW was only a one-person deal. I never included the Reapers in on it. And the moment that Wilster decided to take his fist, ball it up, and punch me straight in the jaw, I don't take too kindly to that. Again, all respect to the Wilster. My fight's not with him. My fight's not with Napalm. My fight's with you. Because you couldn't get the job done against Kurt Adams when I asked you to. And what do? You tuck your tail between your legs, you run up north, and you grab your girlfriends from LBYW, and you bring them down to the 605. And not only that, but the two guys I never really wanted in SBW to begin with, only because I knew how powerful they were. In fact, they're 10 times better than you. I knew how much better they were. I didn't want them in SBW. I just wanted you. So when you came down and lost, I knew to myself, maybe Alpha just doesn't have what it takes to beat SBW talent in SBW. No. So when I made the statement here tonight that I want my debut to be at Haunted Hellfest 5, I knew right away what match I wanted. I could give two shits about a mass versus match, a United States Championship match. I could give two shits about a tag team match later. I wanted the World Championship. That way I could rub it in your face. Not only yours, but I could also rub it in Kurt Adams' face. The fact that he came to LBYW in the first place, and the first match he performed in was a contendership, maybe, if not that, for the LBYW World Championship, and he lost. So at Haunted Hellfest 5, Alpha, when it is Riley Bates, Lee Junt, and the world champion in the middle of that tramp, I want to let you know that I will beat you, and I will rub it in your face that Riley Bates, the best wrestler alive from the 605, the SBW Union and world champion still, and new LBYW World's champion is looking dead in your face, and it will be the only time, Alpha, it'll be the only time you can look at it, because once that show is over, you won't see that beautiful piece of gold ever again in North Dakota. So take what I'm saying if you want with a grain of salt. Take what I'm saying if you want, Alpha, with a grain of salt. In fact, if your brother's watching this, he can take it with a grain of salt as well.
Napalm's here. I've got Napalm right here in the chat. He's here and saying he'd even want a shot at this.
Oh, let me just let's pull back that a little bit. All right. Riley, I see what you're doing, man. I do. You're trying to put us Reapers on a different pedestal. Napalm and the Wilster are better than me. Listen. I know what you're doing. It's not going to work. It doesn't work for Napalm. It doesn't work for Wilster, our face of America. And it doesn't work for yours truly. See, we're in this together. Now, we have been on top and we have been on the bottom together, and we're still here. And at War, we showed that damn straight. All right. So this little game that you're trying to play, you're trying to put all of us on a different side, pit us against one another. It's not going to happen, bud. Wilster.
Well, that's what was talked about here in the past on Sportswire. That was something that was picked up upon when the Wilster was here himself.
Yep, and that's false. Your buddy, and I say your buddy because he is your buddy. Okay, your buddy said the Wilster was the weak link. There is no weak link of the North Dakota Reapers. We are as one. So don't think that you're gonna just all of a sudden rip us apart. It's not gonna happen. You can't even make a little tear. We're united as one, and that's what's gonna happen. Now you mentioned a tag match too that you could care less about. That's exactly what we're gonna do in that tag match in the main event because we know Freak Show are defending the titles. And we're going back, all three of us one-on-one. And there will be another tag team in that match, whether it be PBS, whether it be the Frigid Vikings, I don't care. The North Dakota Reapers are going to the main event, and we're going to take care of business. And now, just wait a minute. Now, here you go. You want this. You wanted this match. You knew I was going to say no. You just knew it. I don't believe that 1 minute, but you just knew it because you're really good. Bates, you're really good at coming up with stuff on the top of your head. I know you. You are great on the mic. You are great in the ring, on the ground. And now I'm sure you will be great on the trampoline. I get it. All right. I know that. But that main event that we're going to get on, Reapers are going on top. So if I'm going to be on the end, let's kick this show off with a banger. You want this match. You got this match. Let's start off the show, bud.
Whoa! The Alpha just said, we're not putting this as the main. We're going right to the top. We're starting with a bang, figuratively and literally. This is going to be the biggest show in Dakota's history and maybe even in backyard wrestling history. And we're going to see this right off the bat. Haunted Hellfest 5. I mean, this is unheard of.
I'll tell you what.
You got it.
Oh, yeah. I wanted this, and I'm glad that I got this. But I'll tell you what. What a load of bull that you had just spewed out. I can't tear the Reapers apart. Are you joking? Are you kidding me?
Why do you think you can? If Kurt can.
If the reason why Kurt can't, Alpha, is because he's not Riley Bates. It's point proven. He's not. And I'll tell you what is blasphemy to me is the fact that War, the same show that you guys lost your championships to. No. Sorry. Wrong show. I'm thinking of that dumb show where Kurt Adams was involved last time, Summer Madness, all right? That's what I'm thinking of. I'm saying War here, all right? So what am I saying when I mean War? I'm saying this. I'm saying the fact that you somehow got lucky of Kurt Adams taking that pin for Wilster. Because I'll tell you what, that's all it is. You must have bribed them, must have did something, because I know for damn fact that Kurt Adams would not lay down for the
Kurt
Wilster.
Adams fell for the handshake.
No. I know that's bribery at its best. I know that's bribery at its best.
Get over yourself, Bates. That's not even close.
No.
He was a fool. He was a fool. He fell for the Wilster's plan, a mind that nobody else has, and then his ass was on the ground.
He is the face of America after 414 days and counting.
Listen. I've been World and Union Champion for over 2 years now.
That's true,
I've been wrestling Kurt Adams for damn near a decade now. I know Kurt Adams like the back of my hand, and I know for a damn fact that Kurt Adams will not lay down to take a pin, especially accept a handshake from a cold-headed snake like Wilster. So I say that's a load of bull. But let me talk about War here for a second, because I heard what you had to say about Riley Bates, not only Riley Bates but SBW earlier on in the show.
I did ask about that. Yes.
Let me just say, I can't tear the Reapers apart, pal. Looks like you three are doing it just fine yourselves. I mean, look at you. Look at all three of you. ripping each other's heads off like your chickens running loose in a coop. You guys are a three-headed monster that don't know what it wants. You guys quite literally can't get the job done when it comes to yourselves. You lost the tag team championships at Summer Madness. You honestly, truly, thoroughly believe that come Haunted Hellfest 5, when you go into the main event not world champion, the only championship the Reapers are going to have is that interstate championship that Napalm has. Is that really, truly the only title you think you three can get your slimy, grimy fingertips on, is that interstate championship? Because I'll say this. You were not the first choice I had going in to Haunted Hellfest 5. I actually thoroughly wanted to go face Napalm for the interstate championship. And it's ironic, Reverend, that you put up that comment, because I just saw a little bit of it. But it's ironic that I'm talking about him now, because Napalm is 10 times better than you, Alpha. And I just thought maybe, just maybe, I could get an easy
Adam,
victory
and you know
over
what? I
a
know
member of
your
the North
history with
Dakota
Adam,
Reapers.
but Adam said he respected Napalm. He said he respected Napalm. He respected him.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Again, look, okay. You said it yourself. Three-headed monster, right? You're damn right we are. You cut the head off. 2 more grow back. Can you do the math on that? I don't know if.
Well, I don't think we need freak math for this one. We don't need the freak math.
No. We're not. Don't even.
Yeah.
All right. But you said it yourself. You said on War. We were all off page at the very beginning. But did you see the end? Did you see the end? We still won. And we were on. Oh my God!
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is a reason why that you need to follow Legendary Backyard Wrestling. You need to go right now and hit that sub button for me, because Haunted Hellfest 5 is coming, and it's coming just about as soon as the New York Minute, and we're going to have plenty of coverage next month before the show itself. The Wilster's coming back to Sportswire, and you know the Wilster's going to have plenty to say about what we just heard tonight. You are going to hear from undoubtedly some of your other favorites in Legendary Backyard Wrestling, plus who knows whoever else, which is why you need to hit that sub button for me. You need to follow Legendary Backyard Wrestling on Instagram, join the Facebook group, support the Alpha, support Riley Bates, and it has now been announced here on Sportswire Radio before we get to final words. It is going to kick off the show, the historic Haunted Hellfest 5, the last show in LBYW's history, and it's going to be not only for that LBYW championship, but now the SBW Union and Undisputed Championships, which is why we fight. This is why we fight here for the Battle of Dakota. All of Dakota here. It's going to be the Alpha. It's going to be the Omega and Riley Bates, the one and only, where it's a winner takes all. This is going to be the definition of who is going to be the true legend of Dakota. And, you know, as I stated, War may not be good for anything or anyone, but apparently it seems like War is really going to be good for somebody. And it could very well be the Alpha, the Omega, or even the one and only Riley Bates, which is why you've got to follow LPYW. There's more coverages ahead here. And, you know, guys, I got to give you guys the opportunity to say a few final words. I know we're going to talk a lot about this next month, and I am very excited. The Wilster, I wonder what kind of mood he's going to be in here in a few weeks to talk about this. But, you know, the Alpha, I'm going to give you the opportunity to say a few final words and just maybe tell Riley Bates why he will one and only regret what he has wanted tonight. And I give you the floor now.
Yeah, let the ex-LBYW world champion say his final thoughts before I come in here and tear him a new one.
You can say anything you damn well please, Bates. If what you say, if it's true, if it really is true, and I wasn't your first choice, number one, that's fine. I was already busy in double duty. But if you really feel like that, if you really, really feel like that, I'm sure Napalm is very much ready to rip the goddamn head off. And I
He's
know
here
damn
right
well
now in
he
the
would.
chat. You know, he's
Exactly.
definitely chomping at the
Napalm
bit.
would. Napalm ain't afraid of goddamn nobody.
And
And
Kurt
I
Adams, you saw what he
I
did to
went to
him.
war with that motherfucker. All right, excuse my language.
That's okay. You got the floor.
He would be ready to go. So I mean, I don't know if it's a pride thing now that you've done and you set it into the universe. That's fine with me. You want to lose, everyone's going to realize why North Dakota wasn't selected first over South Dakota. And I will not only retain LBW's top prize, but sure, why not add a little cherry on top? I'll take your gold and it'll be wonderful. So, Mr. Riley Bates, with that said, you wanted the Alpha. I guess you wanted the Omega. I don't know. Maybe he's the third party. I don't. Whatever you want to call him. You wanted it. You got it. And damn well know that Lee Junt will not be walking out with all the gold, and neither will Riley Bates. And what you said earlier, Wilster, he's gonna retain. He's the face of America. Come on. He already rocked Kurt Adams, a good one, on the last show. He's going to do the goddamn same. He's going to do the same when it comes to Haunted Hellfest. So not only do we still have your interstate champion, Napalm, right? Not only are we still going to be United States champion, though Wilster, we will still be LBYW World Heavyweight Champion, the Alpha. And sure, let's bring a couple more toys. I'll take your World and Union title and make them glorious on my shoulders. And then at the end of the night, whether it's Freak Show and then whoever the hell's want to come on, Frigid Vikings, PBS, whoever wants to be another loser, we're going to take the tag team gold back. And the North Dakota Reapers are going to be in the same goddamn situation that we were at the beginning of our season, and that is on top of the world, baby. Napalm, the Wilster, and the Alpha as your champions. Flat said. You ain't got to go to the specifics. We will stay champions. We will become champions. And the North Dakota Reapers will be the real effing deal in the backyard. So go ahead. Have your last talk. Say what you got to say. Get it off your tongue. Let it roll and tell the entire YouTube why all of a sudden you're going to win the match, because you can say
I think we're going to end the show
happen.
with that. You know what? The Alpha is coming out swinging, and Riley, I'm giving you the last word. I'm not even going into the semantics.
No, what does he got to say? Let's go.
Yeah, Reverend, let me just
Yes, sir.
put this out here.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever question on the last few big shows that I've been a part of SBW? Do you ever question why I come out to Like a Prayer?
Well, because your opponents are going to maybe need some prayers because of just, what we've seen tonight.
Oh, most definitely. That's one reason. The other reason is because I'm different. Not in that way that you are probably thinking, Alpha, you little freak. No, I'm different in the way of I'm not like everyone else in this community. Again, I said it when we first started this place, when we first started the stream, I should say, Reverend, that I am a hit marker of hit markers here in this community. I can make the headlines here in this community, and I already did so. And Alpha, if you're saying that what I'm assuming you're saying here is true, that you still honestly, truly, thoroughly believe that come Haunted Hellfest 5, after that bell rings and that triple threat match is over, you are still walking out world heavyweight champion?
I didn't stutter.
It's a rhetorical question. Don't answer that.
Okay.
If you thoroughly believe that, you are dumber than you look with that face paint on your face. Because let me break it to you. I am the hardest hitter to come in the 605. You can ask Kurt Adams. You can ask Bane X. The moment you step in the ring with Riley Bates, Alpha, the moment you step in the ring, you are going to piss yourself, maybe even shit it.
Oh, come
The
on.
moment, no. The champion speaking here. The moment that music hits, you are going to be wondering to yourself, man, do I actually have what it takes? Screw my brother in this match. He's just a side note. Do I actually have what it takes to beat Riley Bates? And, again, if I went to Napalm and I said, Napalm, I want an interstate championship match at Haunted Hellfest 5, I know he'd agree. He wouldn't say no because he's not a coward like you are. I know he would agree. But the fact I didn't proves one thing, is because I know how good Napalm is.
Mhm.
I want to know how bad the Alpha is when I step into that trampoline. Because when I do, Alpha, I'm going to walk you like a dog. I'm going to make sure by the end of that match, you are laying on your back, you are looking up at that lights, and I want you to call me Daddy, because it's going to be the only word you are going to spit out of your mouth when I'm done beating you.
Pause.
No,
Well,
I'm not going to pause, because here's the thing, Alpha, and I'm going to send these people to the building. I'm going to send us into the building here, Reverend. When I leave Haunted Hellfest 5 with the LBYW World's Championship and both the World and Union Championship around my shoulders and on my waist, when I do so, there's no denying it, there's no complaining, and there's no if and or buts about it. And that is that Riley Bates is the best wrestler alive from the 605 and from North Dakota. And that is just a fact. So, Alpha, I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your eyes. I can hear it in your voice. You put up a big, tough facade in front of you. But the moment that bell rings, that facade is going to come crashing down. And it's going to hurt inside. Because I guarantee to you, my man, I guarantee to you,
he's taking the hat off.
you are not gonna walk out LBYW World's Champion. And for the rest of the Reapers, if they think they have a shot at interfering in our match or trying to get a piece of Riley Bates during that show, whether it be before, during, or afterwards, you know where to find me, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the talking is now over. We're going to find out a month from now.
One short thing.
You got it. Go ahead.
Just one short thing. I'll do you one better. I'm going to make sure damn well myself the Reapers don't interfere in our match. You have my word or not, you have my word. I will keep Willie and I will keep Napalm in the back.
And may the best man win. I guess that's what we're going with, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe the Alpha, that the rest of the Reapers, whether it's Napalm or the Wilster, won't interfere in this match to decide who's the most legendary of Dakota, well, it looks like that's how it's going to be, because there is going to be no interference from the Reapers, and we're going to see it. And wait a minute, Riley Bates is now putting on his shoulders the prizes that everybody fights for here, not just in South Dakota, but all of Dakota, and the SPW Union and Undisputed Championship. We've now got the LBYW Undisputed Championship there right in front of us with the Alpha, and it's all going to take place here coming up. Haunted Hellfest 5, the final show of Legendary Backyard Wrestling, and we know what Haunted Hellfest 4 did last year. We know how many people saw that outside, and I have a feeling that Legendary Backyard Wrestling's final show, Haunted Hellfest 5, is definitely going to be legendary. It's definitely going to be one you're going to remember, and that is exactly why you need to follow Legendary Backyard Wrestling on Instagram. YouTube, Riley Bates on Instagram. You can follow him there. YouTube, Legendary Backyard Wrestling, Instagram right there. Hit the sub button for them. I can't wait. The Worcester's going to have plenty to say about this, and I have a feeling that these two gentlemen are going to be on here once again very, very soon. But, fellas, I'm looking forward to see. Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing before we cut this short. I want you, Reverend, and I want everyone else here to look at who's the real champion. I'm looking my opponent dead in the eyes, and he's just looking away because he knows in his soul, in his heart, that when that bell rings once again, he ain't walking away still world champ. And that beautiful championship you have over your shoulder is going to come home right here. 3 belt Bates walking into SPW Season 4. Guaranteed.
Oh, you know what? That would be certainly quite an interesting development that the LBYW champion will now have to cede his championship over to Riley Bates in the SBW programming. We'll see next season. We'll have the LBYW championship defended. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just very curious to see what happens here at Haunted Hellfest 5. We can't wait to see it, and the world can't wait to see it, but certainly I can't wait. And these guys, the talking, I'm sure it'll come to a head real soon. Haunted Hellfest 5. Stay tuned to LBYW socials on when that'll take place, and we'll have more coverage here coming up in a few weeks. Fellas, thank you so much as always. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on here, and you guys are definitely legendary, and we'll see who might be the most legendary champion of all of Dakota here coming up real soon. So, fellas, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys here soon. But, all right, that was the unexpected LBYW champion, the Alpha, being here, and he heard the calls of Riley Bates, the one and only Riley Bates, and originally he said no, but after Riley Bates decided to put up his SBW Union and Undisputed Championships coming up here to open the show here at Haunted Hellfest 5 in a winner-takes-all match, who's going to be the most legendary champion of Dakota's history. We're getting that, but also there is a twist. The Omega's a part of that match as well, so who knows? Maybe the Omega might be motivated here. Who knows? Lee Jung could be motivated. Just saying, there's still that possibility, but in the meantime, it's a winner-takes-all match. I can't wait to talk about it. And everyone else will be joining me in following LBYW. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight's Sportzwire radio show. I'll be back here, same time, same bat channel tomorrow with the returning Maverick of the WVWF, and he's finally gotten his wish, and he's getting James Enoch. We're going to talk about that, plus what happened at the last WVWF show. Get you ready for Saturday's show, so a lot to talk about there. That'll be tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. But until then, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're here, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for me at Ring Fever, the 5786. Thank you, everybody. And I'm getting messages from people who said that they're very, very excited to see you guys come back here on Sportswire Radio. I just got a few messages from some unexpected places. But until then, thank you, everybody. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one Global Radio, the Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Thanks, everybody.